The reason your social media isn't generating clients is probably not what you think.
You can have 1,000 followers and 100 of those can be paying customers.
That is a recipe for complications, nightmares, mistakes.
Getting quick wins in all this stuff is just cheap dab. It's microwave mindset.
Revenue does not equate to your following.
It takes time to build that.
Some of the worst marketing advice sounds the most convincing.
30 leads in 30 days, or you don't pay.
The reason your social media isn't generating clients is probably not what you think. Why do some businesses get leads from social media while others get nothing?
Social media always comes back to how you make people feel. And what you're always trying to do is realizing the fact that every single person is getting bombarded with interest-based ads every single day. So they're already, if they're interested in, say, swimming or whatever it is, if they're interested in, they're getting hit with swimming ads constantly. So then you come up and it's like, what's different about you? What's better about you? Most people can't answer that question. Like, why are you better? And then you have to showcase that in your content. So then when they hit you and you've got their attention for long enough, then they come over on your profile and leave. Now, that's not a failure. That's just impression number one. The next bit of content, come back and hit them again the next day, the week after, and then boom, you've hit them long enough and consistent enough in order to prove to them that you are the person that can solve their problems. And that's what you're always trying to achieve on social media. There's one piece of marketing advice that sounds smart but destroys businesses. What's something most business owners believe about marketing that is completely wrong?
Going viral. You need to go big time, otherwise you're nobody. If you don't have that blue Instagram verified tick,
Genuine,
not paid. And we'll get into that later. But I think that's the biggest misconception. And the reality is revenue does not equate to your following. We actually did a personal test on this. So we had, the swimming business. I think we were at a couple of hundred followers, like very, very minimal followers for what we are in the industry. Like you're talking about dealing with Olympians, you're talking about dealing with other providers and that kind of thing. And the revenue that we were able to generate from like 400 followers was astronomically better than when we were getting 1 million views a month. It was insane, the quality of the target, or like the quality of the traffic, because if you resonate with a specific audience,
you convert.
If you cast a wide net, you miss, and it hurts. So don't get caught up like any service-based business. Again, we're in the process of looking legitimate. We're building our following. Don't stay stagnant. I'm not saying that. But 200, 400, 800 followers is okay. You're on your way. But you don't need to be Alex Hormozi. You don't need to be Layla. Like, you can be
you.
Yeah. Interesting. Being good at what you do is no longer good enough. How can you become the obvious choice in a crowded market?
Well, you want to be able to get your expertise out there to prove to people that you have what it takes. For an example, if someone's already signed and come on board with you, you want them to still be getting value out of what you're putting out there in your front-end marketing. We should always have a front-end strategy in our marketing, whether that's content, ads, websites, like all that stuff is what we call our shop front, our front end. So if you're still interesting and good enough, you're continuing to keep that person primed in your differentiation. And then they feel that you are upskilling, you are making yourself better, so then they feel like you are the absolute best answer for them. And that's, to me, the only way you can do that. And then every meeting, every touch point, you're providing that extra value. You're always helping, being forward and open and honest with your clients. Offering more services might be the reason your business isn't growing. Why can too many services hurt growth?
Fragmenting your service offering means disaster. It does. Think about the processes and the infrastructure that you need. If you're not dialing in your service and starting with 1 to maybe 3 at the start, it means that you are watering down the quality of your delivery and also the ability to scale, because you've got to bring staff, or you've got to bring some sort of process like AI or something in that can actually help you deliver. You don't want to be stuck doing a custom process for Sally and a custom process for Joe, and Matt wants this and Selena wants that. Like, that is a recipe for complications, nightmares, mistakes in your delivery. Oh, I thought they were on this, or it's just a waste of time. So fragmenting your services as a business owner, get good at one thing. Get the market feedback for that one scenario. Perfect it. And then if the opportunity presents itself and there's a reason to go into another service line because it's complementary or it's an upsell or something like that, totally fair. But you've done the work at the beginning to have foundational processes that you can bring a staff member, you can bring AI into, and it'll do a very good job. Views don't pay the bills. What's the difference between content that gets attention and content that gets clients?
Well, for us, for an example, we were getting on average on one of our accounts over 1 million views per month, and it was insane. It was super addictive, super exciting. But
the phone was buzzing all the time.
Phone was constantly buzzing, and our followers were always growing, and it was a really, really awesome experience. But that month, on those months too, we started being able to take more risk in our business and being able to push more in ad spend. And I remember this one month that we spent $15,000 in ad spend in the 1 month, which was pretty big for our business at the time. Well, really big. And we ended up only making about 40% margin on what we normally do, which was only like, maybe a 1x, 2x return kind of thing. Not very good on ad spend. But when we had 1,000 followers, which was a smaller account, we spent $1,000 on ads, and we did I think like it would be scary to think of how the X is. I'm not going to obviously tell numbers, but we did a lot of money, our record month in revenue that month. And to me, views do not equate to more revenue, because most of the time the reason why you get views is because every person is consuming your stuff, not a specific audience. Like, you can have 1,000 followers and 100 of those can be paying customers, and you're a medium-sized business.
You're killing it.
You're killing it. But if you have 15,000 followers or 10,000 or whatever the number is, or 100,000, most of the time people are just consumers. They're not buyers.
Yeah, you're entertaining them.
You're entertaining. If you could only market your business in one place for the next year, where would it be and why?
2026, Instagram. Without a shadow of a doubt. Not TikTok, not LinkedIn. Facebook is Meta. So you can bundle those two together. But the reality is Instagram is where it's at. For service-based business owners that want to target people like you and I. All right. That's not going to cater for every case of every service-based business owner, and comment underneath and we can help you work out where you need to be, because there are different audiences on different platforms. But to me, LinkedIn is so fake and everyone knows it. Like, you're there telling me about your webinar that you attended and how many CPD points you've got, and everyone knows you're out to basically boost your profile. So everyone's got their guard up. Yeah, we're shaking hand, we're in our corporate tie. Like, we're on our best behavior. TikTok is kind of the other way, where it's still evolving, and this could change. That's why I said 2026. Like, it is growing and mass adoption has taken place and that kind of thing, but it's still got a connotation to be a lot younger audience, and also more for researching food. That may change with TikTok Shop and that kind of thing, but the breadwinner, time and time again, is Instagram, because Meta is amazing in terms of targeting. The use case of 50,000 data points behind everybody's head, you can really leverage that. The algorithm is interest focused. Like, if you're searching baby names, you're getting targeted with all the Portia baby carriers, all that kind of goodness, because it is about the user. Okay, so Instagram is where you should start. Most content strategies fail before they start. What are the signs your content strategy is broken?
You need to match how much time you spend on it to how much money you're turning over. When we compare ourselves to Instagram, most of the time, like, we were only talking with a client the other day, and he was saying the person he aspires to has 2 full-time marketing people in his business helping him create content. Now, most marketing people are probably 90 to 110,000 a year. So most small business, even to medium business, it's going to be very, very hard to spend 200,000. Let's just even dumb it back a bit, 160,000 on 2 people to run your full content system. So you have to match your revenue where you're at as a business and try and work smarter, not harder, work out the absolute bare minimum marketing that you can do to get the maximum reach and the maximum visibility and the maximum level of people or eyeballs on your stuff every single day. You no longer spend hundreds of $1,000s per year on rent to be the best shop front. You can now treat your digital presence as your shop front. And the question is how many eyes you can reach for the cheapest cost. The better your content, the more valuable it is, you can do that. And it's very easy to do that through advertising. After working with hundreds of business owners, I noticed this pattern. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from successful businesses?
It's not a big deal. That post that you've just put out is not a big deal. The wording, the sentence structure, the visual, it's a test. It's not a failure. It's not a make or break. It's like, get it out there.
Give it a go.
No worries. Do it. Like the firm owners that are turning over that 8 to 10 mil that we've worked with, it is freedom in terms of, and obviously they're at a revenue point where it's not hurting as much, but I think they only get there by not micromanaging, but allowing the partnership to really be free to explore, test, marketing feedback. How do we be better? How do we optimize? It's not like I've had one ad and I haven't converted do you know what I mean? Like it's the freedom to create, iterate, evolve and actually take on the feedback because that's what got them to where they are. So it's not offensive. It's not scary. It's like, there's a typo. Cool. Looks more personable. Let's do it. Some of the worst marketing advice sounds the most convincing. What marketing advice should business owners just ignore?
30 leads in 30 days, or you don't pay. Money back guarantee. Now think about that. Most businesses, if you signed even 10, 15% of those, you could not actually service them. You would not have the onboarding processes to be able to take them in, bring them into a nice, clean system and deliver great quality work. The problem is most people are a cold traffic audience. They don't know you. They don't know about you. They've maybe inquired. Some agency's gotten their contact details and name because they've given some sort of value away or some sort of exchange. They're not ready to buy yet. So for someone to promise that, you're probably getting a quality lead and they're ticking that box so they got the name and email address and put it into your thing. And you don't put your money into an investment and get the maximum value out in 1 month. It's a long-term vision. Marketing, building successful businesses, building lifestyle businesses, building systemized businesses that you can walk away from and work on, not in, it takes time to build that. So getting quick wins in all this stuff is just cheap dab. It's microwave mindset, and who wants that? Before fixing your marketing, you might need to fix this first. How do you know if your offer is actually the problem?
At the end of the day, what you're doing with a service business is exchanging value. You're getting money for delivering something, delivering value. Now, the moment we hit a limitation in the perceived value, that's when you're going to come to a halt. So again, market feedback is excellent. We want more of that, not less of that. We don't want to be scared to ask people what they think because you're like, if I don't know, it's all good. The less I know, all good. It's not. We want to know because if the perception of the value doesn't equate to a conversion, just need to fix the messaging. The fundamental core of the service, if you are a business, probably doesn't deviate, but the way we position it does. And that caters to who we're targeting, in what season, in what time frame. It's not a case of, there might be things that you can do to increase the perceived value. There may be things that you can eliminate to actually get your costs down. Maybe look at some of your internal processes, but fundamentally, it's about how we position the offer and what is the associated infrastructure, testimonials, case studies. Basically, we're just trying to prove that What we're saying is the reality of what you're going to get. Authority beats popularity. Why is authority more important than followers?
Authority means that you have a value that is higher than the person on the other side of whatever you're doing. And that's what creates authority, right? The only reason why authority is created is because that person has built something more than what you have. Like, for an example, if I know more than Sally about marketing, I've got an authority figure in her life. I've also created respect and trust in her life as well. So I would become an authority. So most business owners want to become an authority in their arena, in their business. And that makes total sense to want to do that. And that's the power of being able to be really good at what you do and have that constant leveling up as a business owner. How do I get better? How do I give more of me away? How do I create more of this in my team? How do I systemize everything so it's done my way, the way that I think it's best done? And obviously team can give feedback and stuff around that. And that's what building that authority place is like.
I'll just add, if your words have weight, people will wait upon your words. That's authority.
If I wanted to grow faster tomorrow, I'd stop doing this immediately. What is one thing business owners should stop doing today?
There's only a finite amount of things you can control in your business. Let's be real. Like, your days are capped. Well, I had a mentor tell me, like, you have the same amount of hours in your day as the Prime Minister of Australia. You're not running the country. But he is. But you have the same amount of days. Do you know what I mean? So allocation of time and actually working out, the 80-20 rule. Like, what is the 20% of your workload that drives 80% of the value? And focus on that. If we are doing things ad hoc, if we don't have systems, if we don't have processes, if we have staff to train, but they're unclear about what to do, you are burning through your hours in your day. You're not scaling faster. You're being reactive in the space. So we need to get on the front foot, look at the 20%. And I had a firm owner that was, the business partner had left her. She was stuck with the whole weight on the world on her shoulders. And I literally said to her, look, just do the bare 20% that moves the needle forward in 80% of the practice, and you will exceed, even with that last business partner. And she has.